Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. I really appreciate it. You guys definitely haven't met me because this is my first YouTube video. My name is Elizabeth Mamith. I am embarking on this journey. I have been meaning to do this for a while now, but I feel like I'm fully ready to do it. You might know me from like TikTok. That's where I've been this whole time, but I've realized like I'm very much a long form content person because I love to yap, I love to sit down, talk, I love to vlog. And so I am starting YouTube. Okay, first and foremost, I want to start off with a bit about me. So as of right now, life is pretty good by God's good grace. I love my job. I love the people that I've surrounded myself with. For those of you who don't know, I do project management at a really good company. And yeah, like what I'm working on as of right now, I really enjoy it. I really feel like it's pushing my boundaries. And even though I'm in a corporate space, I still get to be creative in what I do. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm in a really good place with life right now, but I definitely still have my seasons where I feel a little bit lost. I don't feel like I'm progressing, or I'm just not doing what I want for myself. And this is something that I really want this space to be a place where I not only share my experiences and be open and transparent, but I'm also giving advice on what has worked for me. I am very, very excited because I feel like I have a lot to give, but also I have a lot to learn. And I feel like this will be the perfect space for me to like go on this journey and especially have you guys with me. So for this video, I want it to be you guys getting to know me, but I also want it to be kind of a yearly check-in that I'll be doing. It just helps me like to stay accountable. So I've got my questions here. So the first question is one thing that I'm most proud of as of right now. So by God's grace, there have been this year and like the end of last year, 2024, was really good. Like it's been a great year. I think sometimes when you go through those trials and tribulations, you kind of forget like how far you've come, and you have to like step back and realize like, wow, this is who I am now. It's been a huge blessing. And I don't ever want to like undermine that, but I also don't want people to think like all these things are happening to me, so my life is constantly perfect 24/7, which is not the case. And no matter how much you have or how much you think you have or where you are in life, people will still have challenges. But up to date, the thing that I'm most proud of is definitely getting baptized this year. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, but I was always waiting for like the perfect time to get baptized. And I spoke to my pastor, and my pastor was like, there's not going to be a perfect time. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You want me to come when I'm sinful, when I'm still doing things that I know I'm not supposed to be doing? And he was like, yeah, that's exactly how you're supposed to come. But acknowledging the fact that I wanted to take that step was sort of like an okay starting place. So I did do like a bit of prep. Like I got into my word, I was reading the Bible, I was doing Bible study, and I really was like, yeah, this is the step that I want to take. And so I did it in April. Not gonna lie, the journey has not been easy. Sometimes I was fortunate enough to have my baptism recorded, and that's helped me a lot because I go back and I watch that video like so many times, and it was such an emotional experience. Sometimes it's so easy to forget like you've made that decision, because I sometimes fall into sin and I think like there's no coming back and running to God. But then it's like once upon a time that was you, like you were running to God. That was your first answer in everything that you were doing. And it kind of just re-jogs your memory of who you are. You're a child of God. So yeah, that's definitely my most proudest achievement up to date. There are other things that I'm super, 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 super proud of, but for me personally and the person that I want to be, that was such a huge step forward. So yeah. So the next question is, what is one challenge that I am currently facing? Right, to be completely honest, one thing that I promised myself this year is that I would set boundaries with people, whether it was friends, family, or whoever at work, whatever, and to really like intentionally put myself first. And I feel like that sounds really selfish if you don't understand the context. So I'm of course the eldest daughter. I'm also that go-to friend. I like to think that I'm that go-to friend for advice. I love the role that I play in other people's lives, but I did find that it was becoming a problem for myself because I was meeting the needs of everyone around me but me. So I was really intentional this year, and I said to myself, like, I'm going to take myself out like every month. It's not something drastic, whether it's just like a little cinema solo day or doing something. And I started off really strong this year, and then I kind of just fell back into my ways of being a people pleaser. Like, that is such a huge thing, and although it's helped me, I feel like it's really helped me to become the person I am today. I feel like it's also hindered me in the sense that I'm sometimes not my true self because I'm thinking, how is this going to affect other people? I feel like one of the challenges that I'm really trying to resolve or get better at is setting those boundaries, and also my communication with people. Once you get a hold of me, I will help you in any way, shape or form, but getting a hold of me is also a problem in itself, because sometimes like my way of dealing with things is to avoid the situation. If you call me and I miss the call, in my head I'm like, okay, cool, I've got to call this person. And then like if I forget to call you on the day, the next day I'm like, oh, I've forgotten to call this person. Maybe I should wait again. Like, I'll wait until it's more appropriate for me to call you. But then days will go past. I'm like, I haven't called. So I have a tendency to avoid problems. And that's just like a small example. There are other things that I will avoid doing or putting off because like I'll think about it at an inconvenient time. Sometimes the time isn't actually inconvenient. It's just the idea of doing it now feels inconvenient. That's one thing that I'm trying to resolve. So two main things, like setting my boundaries and also not avoiding things, and and also improving my communication. So yeah, three main things. The next question is, what's something that I am learning or working on becoming? One thing that I'm really working on is becoming her. Now, this thing has been floating about on the internet for a while now, and I feel like people think in order to become her or to be her, you have to have like a certain aesthetic, or you need to be this person 24/7, which is incredibly unrealistic depending on the structure of your life. You can't be a Pilates girl, a dog mum, an influencer, a 9 to 5 girly, a girly who's in her bag with Christ and in a loving relationship. You cannot wear all those hats at once, even though that would be amazing if someone could do that. And if you are that person, please leave notes. Like, let's compare notes. Let's get on our Zoom together because I need some help. But I feel like one thing that I'm trying to do is become her, but also not force myself to wear 101 hats all at the same time, because I was literally a business owner for nearly 5 years up until a month ago, where I literally sat down and I said to myself, it's great that I'm good at these things, but I want to be the best of the best at what I do. And I couldn't be a 9 to 5 girly, I couldn't be a content creator, and I couldn't be a business owner and be in a relationship and be a daughter. I couldn't wear all those hats at once. You could be all those things at once, but I felt that you couldn't be all of those things and be great and the best of the best at all those things. Even now, removing the business aspect of it, it really did break my heart. But I realized like the person that I want to be and where I want to be in like 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, that person needed to hone in on certain skills instead of trying to wear multiple hats at the same time. You're innately a daughter, you're someone's child, but are you a good child in the sense that like, do you actually spend quality time with your parents or with your family? You're in a relationship, but are you just in a relationship? Are you actually building each other? Are you actually growing? You're working a 9 to 5, but are you just showing up, or are you actually making changes in the business? You're a content creator, but you're inconsistent. Why don't you make a plan and actually be consistent with that content? That was where my logic was. So when I say I'm becoming her, I think what I'm saying is really honing in on the things that I hold dear to my heart and the things that like I actually want to aspire to be and improve. So yeah, in a nutshell, in a very large nutshell, that's the essence of what I mean. You're going to see on this channel, I don't always look like I'm, her. I'm not gonna lie. But my aim is, even if physically I haven't got my nails done or my lashes done or my hair done or whatever people are like associating with being her, I still feel like her because of my achievements and where I am with the people around me and what I'm doing. That's what I mean when I say becoming her, if that makes sense. And then my last question that I want to cover off today is, if future me was watching this in a year's time, what would I want to say? I definitely want to know if future Elizabeth kept up with the gym, because I've been going to the gym, but honestly, it's been so inconsistent. I'll be consistent for about a week and I'm like, body tea. And then 10 seconds later, I'm scoffing down a pizza. So I would love to know if future Elizabeth is a gym baddie and she's a consistent one and she's not just in there every other week. Okay? But I'd also want future Elizabeth to know, to be proud of how far she's come, and everything happens for a reason. I know this, and I really hope future Elizabeth still knows this. You are right where you're supposed to be. You're perfect as is. Don't let anyone, anything that happens make you feel less than. Situations happen, and right now I see a version of myself which might not be the case in a few years' time or even in a year's time, but I still want you to know, like, you're right where you want to be. And yeah, and I really hope you're consistent with this YouTube thing, girl. Like, get it together. Anyways, guys, that was it for this video. Yeah, this is Elizabeth version 2025. This video will be remade with Elizabeth version 2026, which is crazy to think about, but God permitting, we'll all be safe and sound and we will make it to next year. In Jesus' mighty name, I pray, amen. But yes, guys, that is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hoped you enjoyed. And on this channel, we'll be doing a lot of things. I'm still planning the right content that I want you guys to have. And I really want to put a lot of effort in the videos and the content that I produce, because I want you guys to feel like you're on this journey and you're in the room with me, okay? As well as that, I actually want to produce content that people not only want to watch, but you're actually gaining something from it and you're not just watching someone live their life. Do you get it? So yeah, that's all for today and I will see you in the next one. Ciao.